Hey. Let me know. I'm kind of curious. I want to know. What's your zodiac sign? Hey. Happy birthday to them Libras. Hey. Happy birthday to them Libras. Hey. Happy birthday to the Libras. Hey. And what's your zodiac sign? Hey. What's your zodiac sign? Hey. Go Libra. Hey. Happy birthday. Hey. Shout out to the Libras. Hey. Go Libra. Hey. Shout out to the Scorpios. Hey. Hey Scorpio. Hey. Sagittarius. Hey. Sagittarius. Hey. Sagittarius. Hey. Hey Capricorn. Hey. Shout out to the Capricorns. Hey. It's like, what's your zodiac sign? Hey. 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 Aquarius. Hey. Aquarius. Hey. Aquarius. Hey. 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 Pisces and Aries. Hey. Pisces and Aries. Hey. And then we have Taurus. Hey. Go Taurus. Hey. Don't forget the Gemini. Hey. 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 Shout out to the Geminis. Hey. Cancer and Leo. Hey. Cancer and Leo. Hey. Then you got Virgo. Hey. Then you got Virgo. Hey. But happy birthday to them Libras. Hey. Back to the Libras. Hey. Happy birthday to them Libras.
All right, tribe.
Hey guys. Hope you guys are doing well and good energy, attracting the life you desire. Right?
Hey. Little energy cleanse. Hope everybody is feeling well.
Okay.
So,
What's up, y'all? Hey fam.
glad to be here before you all.
What's up?
It's been study week for me and Lala. We've been studying, y'all.
Yeah, God got us in our studies.
So, I'm coming into the knowledge and the understanding that a lot of people that we connected to are connected to a lot of different spiritual sects, right? A lot of them from the African diaspora, right? Like a lot of people are moving towards those type of energies. And I just wanted to touch on the history of some of these different things that we become involved with. You know, some of the cultures, and most importantly, I want to talk about how the colonial mindset turns God against us, and it has since the beginning of so many things, right? The colonial mindset. First of all, before I dive into this, I want to say all praise to the Most High and a big old ashe to the ancestors, right? Because I'm definitely gonna need them with me with this download. So I'm here to teach.
Let me get
with
some
this-
water for this one.
With this download. This download consists of a little bit of teaching, so a little bit of enlightenment. All right. So we're gonna deal with three nations, Nubian nations, and these three nations, they had what you would call, they had a truly divine connection. God favored these nations. Three nations. I'm gonna mention their names, but before I mention the names and where I'm going with it, I want to talk about the fact that every nation has a divine contract, right? People have different religions, different ways that they believe, but every nation, if you look into it, they have some type of divine. That's what makes a nation a nation. So these Nubian nations, they were connected to the Most High, right? And there's three of them, and they are the Nubian nation of Benin, the Nubian nation of Haiti, and the Nubian nation of Ethiopia, right? And the reason why I chose these three nations is because most of the people that's and this could also encompass the indigenous, what people would consider Native Americans, which I don't call them Native Americans, I'll just say the indigenous people, because each one of these cultures, one of them didn't suffer a downfall, but each and every culture, 3 out of 4 of these cultures, they suffered downfall, and that downfall was the adaptation of the colonial mindset, right? So we're going to talk about how that destroys us, that destroys it. Everything you're trying to build, the colonial mindset can take it away if you let it set in on you. So we're going to talk about it. First, what is the colonial mindset? It's simple. It ain't even nothing complicated. Take what belongs to others, claim it as your own by any means, right? That's what colonization was about. It was about claiming land, right? So the colonial era is basically when every Nubian nation that had divine creeds from the Most High, they began to compromise them, so they began to be overtaken. And colonial, they was colonized, right? So the colonial mindset would be take what belongs to others, claim it as your own by any means
necessary.
Right. All right, so why does God work against us when we adapt that mindset? Well, I chose to pick some leaders from these three nations so that we can talk about what they did and what happened.
Come on.
First being Benin, right? The cradle of the Orisha, right? The Edo people. So we're going to start back then. Before it was what you know it as now, right? Your practice, if you're a person that deal with the Orisha or you deal with this practice, your practice, it goes way back to a place where it didn't look like it looks now. So we're going to start there with the Edos and the Obas, right? Because the Obas, they were people that had a divine creed in Benin. They were considered like people that walked amongst us that were human, but divine humans. The Edu, they were the people of, they were master builders. Of course, Benin had a wall that actually was far. It was so much more bigger than the Great Wall of China, but it receives less recognition because of the fact that that wall was built with people that worked with spirits. They worked with the Orisha, and they built the Benin Wall. And what Benin did was it housed 2 million people behind the wall. That right there is amazing when you think about it. So it's 2 million people behind a big wall, the Benin Wall. What happened? Here comes the colonizer, right? Now, Benin, they leaned towards their gods. Their gods, they were there for them. They were there for them. Think about it. Before colonial currency came, everybody was doing good in the African diaspora. All of a sudden, after the colonial currency came, everybody doing bad now. So we back before, remember when the colonizers, when the French and all the Portuguese, all the rest of them, when they hit Benin, Benin was rich.
They have with the brass.
They had bronze, like they had a way of actually I'm glad you tap in. One thing that Benin became so good at is they are ancestors as well. They could take bronze and liquefy it, and they could draw in it, right? They would draw in the bronze when they liquefied it, and they would polish it, and they were able to capture lifelike images, right? It was many different things that people of Benin could do. And it superseded the knowledge of the Western world. Like the mechanics of it, it was ancient. Why? Because they was working with the Most High. They were working with their deities. They was working with their gods, right? So what happened in Benin? How did the colonizer, right? Let me explain to you. The colonizer knew that these people had strong spiritual backing, but the colonizer said, we can't beat the spirit. They knew that, right? That's why they adapted the name of Jesus and just pillaged everybody, because they knew Rome was the last place to become religious. They was the last ones to it. So Europe within itself wasn't a big religious place. It was just a place that it was not really, it wouldn't even be considered to be favored at all. It was a desolate place. So nevertheless, the colonizers, they reached Benin. What happened? Benin let them in. See, what happened was the colonizer know, I can't beat the spirit that they work with, but if I can get them to compromise in their mind, then I can even get the spirit to work against them. And that's exactly what happened.
Touching and agreeing with the wrong things.
In Benin, what they did was they let the colonizers' mind in first by way of trade. See, it was a thing where, okay, palm oil. Y'all got something we want. We coming over. Because remember, when the colonizer hit the Benin wall, they was like, sheesh, ain't nothing we can really do with these people. They impenetrable. Yeah. So they wiggled their way in under the guise of trade, right? But the whole time, the French and the rest of them, what they wanted what the colonizer want. What does the colonizer want? Remember, he wants to take what belongs to others and claim it as his own by any means necessary. So what they did in Benin, they went in. The first compromise that Benin did was to trade palm oil. Yep. I'm pretty sure the Orisha didn't tell them to do that. I'm willing to bet you. And when we talk about Ethiopia, it'll prove itself. But they begin to do things that it went against the spirits that they was working with. Benin began to do things that went against the spirits, right? And the ultimate thing that they did was they began to sacrifice their own people. Once they did that, think you're dealing with the colonizer, right? Which is a demon, right? The demon, when Benin began to trade, see what Benin did, the palm oil, it wasn't generating because now they wanted currency. See, they was adapting the colonial mindset. They wanted to be able to have currency exchange with the colonizer. So palm oil, that was the start. The colonizer like, oh, we got our toe in the door now. Now, let's see if we can get them to a mass slave trade. Boom. Once Benin began to capture other little small nations and sell people and they sold people to the colonizers, right? What happened was they ran out of people to sell. So remember, Benin housed 2 million people. That's like thousands of tribes, thousands of different. So within the walls, it began to be chaos. They begin to try to trap each other. Why? Because supply and demand. The Western world had a demand for slaves. And Benin wasn't no longer sought after for palm oil. They were sought after for other resources. And what they wanted, again, the colonizer wants what? What belongs to others, to claim it as their own. So essentially, you can see where Benin, the gods that they called on are the same gods that couldn't support them. Why? Because especially if you're dealing with the Orisha, if you can't view your brother man as a god, you're going to have a problem when you deal with the Orisha because they have children out here. And that's always been their system. So like some people think it's wrong, but it's really the truth. Like if you can't look at your brother or your sister and see divinity or see divinity within them, you won't never have a good relationship with these. And Benin shows it because what happened was their gods no longer was able to hold it together. Benin got infiltrated and ransacked. A wall that held 2 million people on the other side. How could the colonizer come in? Because their mind, they adapted the mindset of the colonizer, right? And the next nation is Haiti, right? So Benin fell. Remember, Benin fell. They said when Benin fell, their bronze relics and everything, they was laying on the ground. They everything that they built, they trashed.
They trashed it. They didn't even care.
They just trashed. The colonizers just trashed it, right? And it was because I have a tendency to believe it was no way that they could really claim it, because you know the gods that work with that land, they wouldn't be able to work with those gods like that. So they trashed it, and what they did was they took the relics.
Because you know,
waited.
I'm sorry. You know, I was thinking, you know, the devil can only come in when you let him. He was invited in when we started trading, right? When we started doing trading, it became an agreement.
And they adapted the colonial mindset, right? And it became borderline genocidal to them, because now they looked at, you know, the cowrie shell wasn't the currency. Now they wanted money. Now they wanted leverage in foreign lands, and they was willing to sell humans and optimize humans to get it. Why? Because now they are operating in the colonial mindset. So boom, just know when we adapt the colonial mindset, and I'm gonna explain that after this. But let me get to the next nation. The next nation is AT, Haiti, Saint Domingue, right? Or AT known now as today. But again, this is a nation, right? They gained independence, right? They fought for it, but they adapted the colonial mindset, and it forced the gods that they called on to have to go against them. And they suffer today. And we're going to talk about this. First of all, you had Toussaint Louverture, right? And what he was a man that called on the Loa for assistance, right? In the Haitian Revolution, Toussaint called on the Orisha. They popped up and showed up. They showed up big time, because you know how you know the Loa showed up for Toussaint Louverture? Because when the Portuguese and the French got off the boats, you know one of the main things that wiped out half of their army, it was yellow fever. Something sent by the spirits. I mean, they were dying in droves by yellow fever. They had different mothers that had powders that they would blow into the wind in the morning. So like they would wake up, the organs would be falling out and all of this, right? This was under the unction of Toussaint Louverture, right? And it's women in this, it's divine feminine in this, because Marie Laveau plays a big part in this, right? It's always a divine feminine. She was by way of defense, the same way Empress Tayatu was about. We're going to get to that. But nevertheless, we dealing with Toussaint Louverture. He called on the Luau. The Luau showed up to assist him in warfare over the land of AT. What happened with Toussaint Louverture? He began to adapt the colonial mindset. And you know what happened? It cost him. You know what he began to do? He began to be willing to, he wanted to compromise with a colonizer. Now, what's the colonizer's mindset? We gotta say it again. Take what belongs to others, claim it as your own by any means necessary. So here's a man that can call on a luau, right? He called on spirits, and he held down the borders of Haiti with spirits. They was doing that with spirits, you know.
What Kodak say, calling in my spirits?
They were calling in the spirits, right? They had reports that these people moved in supernatural unison, right? The same way with the Dahomey and the Oganji, right? All these people had supernatural power on them. That's how they was beaten. You got to really think they were fighting the French, the Portuguese, even the Italians. A lot of them, they had advanced weaponry. So they fighting with primitive weapons, and they fighting people with advanced weaponry. They winning a war because the spirits are working with them. Let's just say God. Whatever you consider God, this was God.
It's almost like, you know, it almost reminds you of, you know, Moses and his people, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's in Ethiopia.
Right.
We're going to talk about that in the Ethiopian download. But Toussaint Louverture, guess what he did? he let that colonial mindset set in. He was willing to compromise, and he let the colonizer make false promises to him. And guess what he did? He ended up getting trapped, thrown in a cave. That's where he died, cold and starving.
You know, and
because the spirits that he called on, they couldn't assist him. You know why? Because he adapted the colonial mindset. Once he let his mindset become colonized, once he was willing to be colonized in his mind, you can't call on a spirit that don't. You got to think about what you're doing. Like, that's for us too, because it's the same thing that happens now today. People call on spirits. It's like, I'm going to call on a spirit that manifests money. You colonized in your mind. That's not going to really work out for you in the end. Because spirits wasn't, when you call on spirits only to get money, you operating in a way that's going to make them work against you. The same way these people did. So, Toussaint Louverture, he died in a cave, starving. But this was a man that had the power to call on the Lua. So the next president, actually the first president, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, right? Now, this was a man, he had a little bit more wisdom than Louverture, in my opinion. Because see, what he did was, he called on the Lua too. He did. They showed up for him. And at one point, he was, remember when in the Bible when Samuel told Saul to slay all the Amalekites,
and he left
and Saul was like, I'm not slaying the Amalekites, I'm not slaying no children. And then the Amalekite grew up. All right, well,
same energy.
Jean-Jacques was sticking to the script, because the spirits told him, look, slay every French. 1804, it was known as the French Massacre. What he was doing was he was eradicating the mindset of colonialism. He was eradicating it, right? He was moving right. But then what happened? Jean-Jacques, he began to take down. He began to be a lover of colonial things. He wanted money. Ultimately, it led to him being assassinated, right? So he established the independence. And then you had Jean-Pierre Boys, right? And this is the man that did the worst thing that you could do. All of these men had the Lua behind them.
Yeah.
Remember, that was their spirits, the spirits of Haiti.
Yep.
They gave them the land independently, you know? And what happened was Jean-Pierre Boys in 1825, he made a deal with Italy because they told him, you owe us for reparations.
Yeah.
And he let them do that. And guess what? The bill was like, it would be like what's considered billions of dollars. So what it did to Haiti in the long run, it took all the money that they would have been able to build their country with, and they end up paying it off. Why did they do that? Because this man adapted the colonial mindset. Real. He let them people tell him, you owe us money. And he did it because he was in fear of them attacking again. Yeah. Now picture that. You in knee deep with the spirits now. They done held you down. Yep. Now you make a decision to go in debt with the colonizer, right?
Because we start losing our faith, right in the thick of things. So it's the same thing, when you believe in God and you are in the thick of things, you start losing faith. And that's when you start taking those little shortcuts and doing things that are really not you, because you're not following the path, the plan, right? And then you start losing.
You start losing bad.
You start losing.
And a lot of it, these people that we talking about, and these are famous historical figures in Haiti and Benin, right? Oh yeah. Jean-Pierre Boys, he made a deal in 1825 that put Haiti behind for decades, still suffering. This is why French is mingled in their language, because they made blood treaties with France. See, they agreed. That's a spiritual agreement. They agreed. Say Haiti stood strong and just eradicated all the French and left it at that, and then got it out the mud. It would be you wouldn't see French mingled in Haitian culture so much. It's so intermingled because of the debt that lies there. But the debt came because, again, they begin to adapt the mindset that work against the spirits that they calling on. Remember, the spirit of colonialism is this. Take what belongs to others, claim it as your own by any means necessary. All right? Now, the last nation, I'm proud of these people.
We're very proud.
This is the mightiest Nubian nation, in my opinion, till this day. Ethiopia.
Yes.
Right? Why do I say that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
First of all, Ethiopia's strategy of war was so superior. Why? They work with spirits too. They work with the Orthodox spirit of Christ and the apocryphal literature.
Real talk.
So, Italy came in the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
They had a church. Italy was coming as Europe. Europe, they unified under. Ethiopia was like, that's not the Christ we know. Y'all moving with the devil. And see, Ethiopia, when colonialism began to affect the African diaspora, it was a marriage that sustained Ethiopia. And I want to talk about that. King Menelik II and Empress Tayutu Betul, right? This is a mighty empress, y'all, because she seen early, her and her husband was like, oh,
yep,
they about to be cutting up in the next 20 years.
Yeah.
So what we need to do,
prepare.
We need to get busy right now. So what did they do? Ethiopia began to amass weaponry from the Soviets and the French on the low. Because they wasn't necessarily beefing with the French yet. They was beefing with Italy. So they seen it coming, so they said, all right, we're gonna get these weapons. You know why I like Ethiopia? They called on the spirit, right? Each of these nations, they had what God gave them. Remember, the Orisha gave the Edu Benin, and the Oba, they gave them Benin. The Lua gave the Haitians AT. Christ gave Ethiopia the land of Ethiopia, right? They had the real doctrine of Christ, the contention. You know them years when Christ vanished out the Bible? They had that information, right? And they had Soviet backing because, believe it or not, the Soviet Union, they knew. The Soviets was like, yo, we know that Jesus is black. Flat out. They knew that. They still got, remember Putin threw up the black statue a couple years ago? The Soviets been. So basically what happened was the Soviets was like, sure, we know what's going on. Y'all can buy arms from us. So this is why Ethiopia stands atop. They didn't adapt the colonial mindset. So God could work for them. See, what happened with them was they let the European nation grow pompous, right? They were so pompous, they conquered everybody. They ripped through the African diaspora. They was colonizing nation after nation. So they felt like, well, Ethiopia going to be an easy bop. But you know why? Because Ethiopia was never even willing to talk to the colonizer. So they didn't know nothing about Ethiopia. They tried to strike negotiations with Ethiopia. Ethiopia fell back like, oh no. Yeah. You think that we gonna talk to y'all? Menelik the second, real sharp, right? This was a man that trained lions. Yeah. You gotta remember, they was from the line of Solomon. The Ethiopians' line dates back to Solomon and Sheba, not Bathsheba. The queen of Sheba and Solomon, right? This is their nation. So you're dealing with a nation of mysticism, and you're dealing with a nation connected to
the Most High.
Christendom or Christdom. I'm talking about the real Christ, like the power that Christ moved in. So this nation right here, of course, they're resistant. Now, and they held the doctrine. What was the doctrine? The doctrine was the original Bible. That's the reason why Italy and Rome wanted really to come, because they was like, we trying to demoralize this world in the name of Christianity, and y'all got the real doctrine. We need that. We need that in order for us to hide behind the name of Jesus and demonize the world. We need Ethiopia. So what happened was God worked with Ethiopia. And you know what they did? They did something that like Moses did.
Come on.
Right? This is what Ethiopia did. they never adapted the colonial mindset.
Never.
They rejected it on all accords.
Refused
So
it.
their enemy didn't know nothing about them. I'm talking about nothing. So it's like, and it worked in their favor. You want me to tell you why? Because other nations in the African diaspora, they began to compromise so much so that it made Europe feel like, man, we could buy anywhere in Africa. They
Right.
soft for it. Like, we can just go buy
they
anywhere,
thought.
right? So what they did was, they said, since we don't know nothing about Ethiopia and we pretty much took over the whole African continent just about, we just gonna go to Ethiopia and take over.
Right.
So Ethiopia said, okay, when Ethiopia pulled, they left everything up front, like, you know, valuables and stuff.
Come on in, tempt
Yeah,
you.
they left all the valuables up the front, and they drew back into the mountains and they took their religious relics and they took the doctrine, which was the Bible at that time,
To the mountaintops.
and they took them into the mountaintop. And the blessed Empress Tayitu, she was like, I need the biggest guns that the world got.
She said it's better to.
She
it's
said,
better
I
to
need
die
literally, yo, this woman, she preached it's better to die than be enslaved.
Yes, she
this
did.
was, and she was like, she was the military, she had military stratagem in her. Menelik II did too, but not like her.
Yeah.
The Empress was real serious. So what she did, literally, y'all, she bought the biggest guns that the world had at the time, right? And you know what she did? She the biggest arms, let's say.
Yeah.
She got the oxen.
Cannons.
Mind you, these are cannons.
got
She got the oxen to pull them up the mountain. When everybody was like, why are you doing that? She was like, look, pull them up here. I need them all the way up here, right? So what they did, Ethiopia fell back into their nation, right? I'm talking about, you talking about God working with a nation.
Yeah.
Yo, they fell back into the rugged terrain of the mountains of Ethiopia. That's vicious. That's nasty work.
Yeah.
So what happened was, here go Italy.
They could barely, like, you could barely walk up.
Yo,
the
it was
mountain.
crazy, like what the studies that we did about it. So when an Italian, but this, mind you, they are resisting the mind of the colonizer, because the colonizer wants your mind.
That's right.
That's what they want, the mind, right? These people lean towards spirit. This is what they said. When the Italians landed on Ethiopian borders and they began to get off the boats and traverse the land, they was very arrogant. Like, where they at, right? Where they at? They ransacked everything that they left out there for them to get. So they thinking they running from us. Yo, the Ethiopians was very smart. Listen to what they did. I want y'all to hear this, because this is real smart. They turned things over and made it look like they ran in a hurry. Like they left half-eaten plates of food. They turned over baskets. They made it look like they was running, y'all. So when Italy seen this, Italy was like, oh yeah, we got them. All we gotta do is track them down. Little did they know the terrain that they was about to go into, it was vicious. And it swallowed them like the Red Sea swallowed up. Remember when Pharaoh was pursuing the Israelites and the sea swallowed them? That's the same thing that the mountains did to the Italians. So what happened was, and it's funny because some of the battle work, it was purely heavenly.
1865, 95?
1896.
96.
March 1st was the Battle of Adwa,
Adwa,
right? Adwa was a spiritual battle, y'all.
Yeah.
I want to tell y'all about this battle, because this was when Ethiopia, they didn't fight for no independence. They never even had to fight for independence. They was like, y'all not coming over here,
No.
period. With y'all not coming here. And how they did it was like this. While Italy was so arrogant that they thought that they could really overthrow Ethiopia with 17,000 soldiers. 17,000. Ethiopia put together 100,000 soldiers on a low. They petitioned every nation.
Every nation. They
And
came
see how they
together.
was working. See how they was working different than Benin. Benin could have did this, but Benin they adapted the mind of the colonizer. The Ethiopians knew, listen, we fight that. So what they did was they got a mighty army together, right? They had some of their army, they had weapons that they bought from the Soviet Union. Then they had other parts of their army that worked with animals.
Yes.
They worked with lions, bees, and cheetahs.
Yes.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah. They would
So
take the,
Menelik
take
the
bees
second,
and put them in a thing.
the tanks, like the Italian tanks that would come through the mountains, they would get stuck in the mountain. All the chariots broke up because they thought that they could literally bring the chariots over the mountain terrain. Wrong move. It broke up.
Yeah.
So then they wiped out their pipelines because the chariots broke. Then after that, the tanks that they had, they demoralized them. Guess how they did it? They opened the hatch and they dropped wasp. They would cultivate big wasp nests that was real big. So when the tanks was gone, the Ethiopians would jump on top of the tank, open the tank, and drop a nest in there, close the tank, sit back. Everybody would have to come out the tank. Easy win.
You heard me.
They literally demoralized all of their tanks with
crazy.
wasp nests.
Yes.
You telling me that spirit ain't working with these
You heard
people?
me. That's God.
Why? Because they reject the mind of the colonizer.
That's definitely
This
God.
is why they was able to work with this, and not to mention, they had a part of their regime that run down the hill with lions and cheetahs. They had lions that would go run down. They would run down the enemy and capture them, just grab them. So you might have a lion that got 2 men just dragging them. Like imagine this level of warfare though.
Yeah. What it was at the end, it was 66,000.
6,000. The Italians sent 17,000 troops and lost 6,000 of those troops. That's a demoralizing number. And not only that, they got slapped around. It wasn't like, you got to remember, they had the best weapons. But you got to remember, it's 17,000 against 100,000 coming from all type of ways.
They were coming
and you don't know who.
right?
You got people running with lions, they running with bees, they got cheetahs fighting with them. Then you had people that had military weapons just like yours, because remember they was buying weapons. But you know what sealed the deal for Ethiopia was the brilliance of Empress Tayutu Batul. Let me tell you why. Remember when I told y'all she was dragging them big arms, the cannons she bought? She dragged them up the hill with oxen. Peep what Ethiopia did, working with spirit, right? They let the chieftains, they opened up a space so they can run. Because of course they started to retreat like, yo, we gotta get out of here. Like, guess what happened? The place where they let them get out, they opened it up purposely so they could make a dash for it. And guess what they ran into? The Empress Tayutu, she had big cannons on the mountains pointing straight down at them. Boom! Blasting them from the mountaintop. That was the statement. They said when she did that, when they lost that, right? Not only did Ethiopia seal, they didn't. I'm not even saying they seal independence. They didn't have to seal independence. They held down their lands, right? And
you know, can you imagine how raw it is living there? You know, just being, you know, nothing ever being touched or tainted. You know what I'm saying? Just to really be exactly who you were born to be, with nothing being, you know, in the way.
Right. Because the colonial mind state was rejected, and
they refused it.
Just to cap they win, they done it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
They never had to suffer it again. They had little minor skirmishes, and even when Haile Selassie became president years later, he had an uprising too. Like, and they were reciting, they called on the spirit of Adwa. Right?
Yep.
Which is like Christ energy, along with the mysticism that Queen Sheba fused in there. So you gotta end, mind you, when they subdued everybody, they let the generals go. They spared them.
Yep.
because Menelik understood working with spirit ain't about doing. We only gave it to y'all this bad because y'all came here.
Right.
So we gonna let y'all go because we cool.
Right.
You know, Ethiopia don't say much. They don't do too much. They work as a cooperative and they hold the doctrine to this day. The Bible, that they still hold it. So I said that because, and this download was basically, don't let the colonial mindset cause your gods to forsake you.
Come on now.
And basically the colonial mind state is take what belongs to others, claim it as your own by any means necessary. If you do that, you're going to make your spirits work against you.
Okay.
Because that's not what it's all about. You know, like, people be like, I'm going to call on this so-and-so spirit because I need money. Colonial. Your mind is colonial.
Working with, and there's people work with stuff that they don't even know about. Like, you cannot be working with something because your homegirl working with it or your homeboy working with it. Like, you gotta know what you're doing out here.
You gotta be called to it.
You know what I'm saying?
And like the colonial, we don't call on spirit. You know, money, you're gonna manifest money. Once you get the spiritual things that you need, money comes along with them. And just calling on spirits to get money, you eventually gonna do something to somebody because you want the money.
Okay.
That's how it all started.
You like, no, I'm not. Yes, you.
That's how the Edu fell. That's how the Obas fell. That's how AT fell. That's how all these strong nations fell, because they let that colonial mindset, that need to exchange, that, you know, cash rules everything around me type of mindset.
The Ethiopians had the mind of Christ.
Yeah, Ethiopians, they held on to their doctrine. They held on to their spiritual power and their authority. So maybe we should do the same thing.
And it was crazy because, who was it? Was it France that, like, you know, they were the same Orthodox Christians?
The Soviet Union.
The Soviet Union.
Yeah, the Soviets, they believed in a form of Christianity as well.
You know, so they was like supplying things to them. You know, people know they didn't go against you. God had to tell them too, right?
Who that?
To, the people that were supplying them the stuff.
Well, I mean, it was like, I believe when you work with spirit makes its move. We know they came up with them weapons.
Okay.
And they was able to not, they don't even know what colonization looked like.
At all.
They don't know what it looked like. I mean, they live in what's called cooperatives over there.
You
Like,
gonna do
cooperative
this
collective.
part so we can eat dinner. I'm gonna do this part so we can eat dinner, and you know that's how it go over there.
And one day of the week, we're gonna take care of the sick.
Of the sick and the elderly.
Yeah, we studied a little bit about Ethiopian culture because, like I said,
We
they
plan
are
to
the
go.
only Nubian nation that,
we gonna visit one day.
you know, like I respect Benin. I love Benin. But you ever heard the devil say, well, y'all sold yourself into slavery?
Yeah.
But then they gotta claim that.
You know, I was like, well, you know,
I know it's a hard pill, but
my peoples did.
they did that.
You know, I don't know. You know, past life, we like that. I don't know.
And AT, the leaders of Haiti back then, they caught on the right spirits, but they let themselves become savage. And it's hard, you know, like, it's hard. Anytime you start turning on your own people, you know, you make it hard for spirits to work with you.
You know,
And their willingness to compromise. See, God didn't mean to compromise with the colonizer. I'm telling you, that's why we got half the problems that we go through now. That's why we so far away from our cultures. Even the indigenous Indians, you know, the ones that was here before all that started. Did you know it was people in North America before slavery and all that? It was people, they were exiled from different original lands, and they came up with their own culture. And you had like Navajos, you had all type of Indian people, right? And Indian culture. That was here way before slavery. They even enslaved some of them. But what happened with them, they were a peaceful people. They was about cultivating the land. What is the mindset of the colonizer? Take what belongs to other people and claim it for yours by any means necessary. So the Native Americans, the indigenous people, they were already in trouble. The minute that they begin to compromise with the colonizers, they was in the same trouble that everybody else was, because it's a mindset.
You know? Okay, that's so real.
It's a mindset.
You know?
Like,
and I feel like we can, these stories are important for everyday life, because it shows you how, if you stick to, what God, the plan that God has for you and your people, then, everything works out. And it did for them.
Who that?
The Ethiopians.
Yeah, I love
I'm sorry, I'm coloring.
I love my studies. Like, I found a new respect for the nation of Ethiopia, right? They hold the book of Enoch too. Like, they hold a lot of valuable stuff over there. They hold the apocryphal literatures, they hold the Ethiopian Bible, which I have a copy of, by the way, that my wife bought me, right? And it's like, it's kind of like, it's like the Bible, but with more to it.
Yeah, mine has the whole.
It's like yours swallow the whole King James up, don't it?
It has every book in there.
It swallowed
I have
that.
88 books.
I think it's 88 or 84 books.
80-something books.
Right? So I say that before we tap out and go into the readings, remember, all of these nations had the favor of God on them. Benin was the most beautiful society that you could ever imagine. The Edo people, yo, they walk with the gods of the land. You know what I'm saying?
We royalty.
They royalty.
The homie.
All day. Royalty.
Okay.
Even the people at AT, you figure a bunch of mixed people trapped in a specific location.
Yep.
And they called on their spirits. And they won. And they won independence. Yo, Haiti won independence, yo. But
it came with a cost.
The colonial mindset, it caused them to be a nation that suffered great poverty because of debt. So fight against the colonial mindset. Like, if you find yourself wanting to take things from other people that don't belong to you
at any cost,
by any fight that, because you're going to make them spirits work against you. Spirits ain't going to work. They not going to work like that, y'all. Like, and I know people say, well, they spirits. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, it's rules, like, it's laws.
I got a Psalms here. I'm coloring, y'all. Look. It says, as for me, I will always have hope. I will praise you more and more. Psalm 71:14.
Is that for, as for me, in my house, we will serve the Lord? I think so.
Psalms 71:14.
That's the New Age text.
It's a coloring book.
That's dope. My baby got a lot of little dope, little spiritual things around the house.
I just be keeping myself, This is what you do when you don't have nobody or no friends with your husband. You color and watch. I like this life. I just be doing me, y'all, and having fun with y'all online.
So yeah, y'all, I hope like the missive kind of helps somebody understand that the way you think is important. Like,
very important.
You don't want to be running around thinking like a colonizer. You don't want to do that to your people. And sometimes, as soon as we get a little bit of knowledge, we do become the colonizer. Like, it's like, people that want to, if you go work magic spells on people, that's like, you like a colonizer. Like, I mean, just because somebody hurts your feelings, do does that really give you the right to go put some juju on them?
No.
Honestly, be honest with yourself. How would that work in the end? Somebody done you wrong, they hurt you. And now you want to put the spirits on them. That's the mind of the colonizer, right? That kind of thing, it work against you in the end. It really do. Sometimes when people hurt you and you call on your spirits, you should call on them to heal you, not to seek vengeance. You shouldn't send vengeance, right? Because vengeance has a horrible tax return on it. It's like, I send vengeance out in the world. That shit come back on my kids, they kids, the grandkids, just vengeance.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Calling on
Because it say we suffer the what? We suffer the sins of our ancestors.
You know, you calling on energies that you really don't have a knowledge of their true nature. And why you think they there for you to call when you want to be vengeful, you go in and you call on a vengeful energy, right? But when you call upon vengeance and you send vengeance, it was never meant for you to do that. That's why the Bible does say, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. The reason why the Almighty said that is because it's too powerful for a human to yield. It's like, if you can do it, but look at the cost of it.
Big energy.
I'm going to send vengeance. That's a divine energy. It's going to burn and scorch. That's what vengeance do. It scorches, man. And it's sometimes, you know, you have those that don't really understand energy.
Yeah.
So they go call on these things and send them. And then when it don't seem like it's working, they go and do it again.
Whew.
Not knowing, you doing it worse. You scorching more earth. Mm-hmm. The more magic spell you send, the more earth you scorch.
Yep.
The more vengeance you call on, the more you contend with vengeance. Yeah. You got to think, because, you got people out here like us. And I'm going to say like us. And seriously, when you send them kind of energies at us, our spirit team, they going to be right here like, because we learned that. We learned that. Like, I'm not going to open myself up for you to send negativity towards me like vengeance. I'm going to stay behind my protection. I'm not going to allow your projection to reside. Because, see, that's what people do. Mm-hmm. They project this shit onto your auric field. Yeah. And then you consume it and it goes back out of you. Vengeance. I can see my spirit team like judo. He don't deserve that. She don't deserve that.
You heard me. Get him out.
Send that right back where it came from.
I already know my ancestors.
And then people, like, it'd be real tragic sometimes about the people that don't, you know how some people they get in with them trickster spirits, right? They the worst kind to be in with. Cause they'll have you keep running back to the voodoo lady.
Right.
You be running back, spending all your money, like, and then not really realizing you bringing tragedy upon yourself. Then when tragedy strike, that's when the spirit becomes revealing. See what I'm saying? Thank you, spirit. These trickster spirits, they wants to laugh at you.
Yeah.
See what happens is, when the shit go wrong, they gonna tell you. Like, people work with trickster spirits, sending magic. It ain't work. Let me go put some more.
Do it again.
Let me spend some
more.
Woola. And the trickster spirit be like, yeah.
Woola.
But then when the tragedy hit, the trickster spirit be right there like, this the reason why it's happening to you. Because you kept doing that. Remember, you was sending all the magic spells, and now look, so-and-so dead. Look, you sending all the magic spells, now look, your finance and everything going down. The trickster spirit, it lets them know what they done. That's the crumble. That's why people be crumbling psychologically at their own hand.
Yep.
They be confronting, they be contending, and they're doing it in secret. Like, people be like, what's wrong with you? They be like, no. You know what's wrong. You know what's wrong.
The damn spell work.
You kept sending them energies. You kept sending them and wouldn't stop. So let's not even be that way. Let's call on the spirits to heal us first. When we hurt, call on your spirits to heal you.
For real.
When you hurt, call on your spirits for something other than earthly measure. Like, call on something spiritual. How about ask them for something spiritual? Like, seriously, like, I believe some people's spirits probably tired of them. All you do is call on your spirits when you want some money. You try to manifest some money. You at the shrine. You at the altar now because you try to manifest money. Don't got the least bit of discernment. Ain't got no discipline.
A bunch of useless fruit at the water.
You want money. You got money all up on the altar and everything because this is what you want. What can a spirit do with money?
Nothing.
Let's be real.
Give it to somebody else to hurt somebody.
All you could be doing is putting money up there to show a spirit what you want. as an offering. Some people do it. And I mean, who am I to judge? But in literal context, right? I mean, in literal context, right? What can a spirit do with money other than gold? Because gold is one currency that transfer. Gold is a currency that it transcends the realm. Gold transcends the realm. But paper, cash, money we use every day, like, it's for this world.
I would like to get to know if I could be the kind of girl that you could be down
Somebody
for.
said, call on their spirits to overcome oppression and protect my peace. You heard me.
Okay.
You heard me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's real right there, though.
Yes, y'all. Look, y'all, our color good if you want to have a competition.
You know what it was reminding me of when you just said that? Who was that? What did that say?
Cash.
Cash Atway.
Cash Atway.
You know what you said reminds me of? It reminds me of like when Solomon, when God gave Solomon court and was like, and Solomon, I'm well pleased with you. What you want? And Solomon was like, wisdom.
You heard me.
And God was like, wisdom.
That's it.
Just because you ask for wisdom, I'm going to bless you with everything else just because you ask for wisdom. That's that kind of energy.
Hey, here you go, my boy.
You know, when you ask God for the strength to overcome oppression and protect your peace, now we talking. Now we really, you know, that's the language right there. That's something spirit can work with. You know, that's something God can really work with.
All right, Empress, we're gonna have to set us up a paint night or something, or a color night, or, you know, get the girls on and stuff. Okay. From the ashes you will rise, period.
Phoenix energy.
Know your narrative, not
111 444
444. What's up, y'all?
Rick.
That's right. Let's get some energy. Energy. We about to tap into your energy. Where you guys at? Where you guys from? What's up? Is that Joy? Did I just see Joy in here? Count it on, Joy. It will rain.
Peace, fam.
Kelly. Kelly could be significant. Who's Kelly?
Friends say treat me like dirt.
What happened to better or for worse?
I need answers.
Can you tell me?
This is Mr. Big.
How you doing, Mr. Big?
The hell is going on?
What you mean, what's going on?
I say, Kelly's telling me that you're sleeping with another one.
Well, just because she sees me with her doesn't mean I'm sleeping with her.
Yo, that was my joke, right?
You heard it.
Donald Ollie
Y'all
told
remember?
me.
I
He said, now, son, man to man.
We both know the game. Yo, wasn't that like a 12-page video? A 12. Yo, that was a whole movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm coming. Yeah, anyway. Okay, y'all. I knew I seen Joy over here.
Y'all know we do a little tripping over here. We tripped a little bit over here.
I'm like, who that in the background? Who that in the background? Now y'all know I'm getting hungry, but I'm holding my stomach real tight. All right, we're gonna get this good old message out. What's up, y'all? Gotta trip a little bit. I don't know.
Okay.
What you got? You gonna start? Start.
No, you start.
Tap me in. All right.
I just taught a whole sermon. You heard me. God trip a little bit, count it all, Joey. That's right.
All right, we got the Queen of Wands coming out in the verse. I don't know. Somebody's not confident about something here. Okay? I don't know if you are a Leo or Sagittarius or Aries, heavy on the Leo, but someone's not feeling confident about a thing. Someone could be just really, you could just be having one of those days. I be having those days. You ever had those days where, you know, you just like the clothes, nothing fits right. You just feel like, you know, you just don't want to be bothered. You don't want to go anywhere because it just seems like you just can't get it together. It could be one of those kind of energies, you know, right? Someone could be TMI on their, you know, their lady thing, right? And you could just be moody right now, Queen of Wands. I don't know. There is someone cooking up some damn spell work here, though, with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. There could definitely be somebody doing some magic tricks here. Something backwards. Something that's not, like, you know, very courageous. Something sneaky. I don't know. Something like that. Let's see. Somebody got a lot of candles lit. Candle magic for sure. Yeah, Three of Wands is in the reverse. Somebody could be doing this because they can't see where they're going. They can't, you know, sometimes people like, I got it. Thank you, God. It's almost like this kind of energy. There could be energy here, you know, it's like, I can't beat them. I can't join them. Let me try this spell work. For real. This is like crazy. You know, this is like the energy of, you know, not being able to see what's coming in, because obviously somebody didn't see something if they're playing with this when it comes to you. Right? Obviously they had no idea what was coming in or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, look, somebody's holding on to something here. Okay. This could be like this could be someone holding on to a bad attitude. This could be just someone just not willing to work with people. Someone that just can't see the future of something here. This is kind of like a negative energy that someone refuses to let go of. Someone could be holding on to their negative ways, traits, habits, something like that. Not able to see, you know, that it's blocking them for the future. Something like that. Okay.
You definitely got blockages out here. You got the Knight of Cups upright, World in reverse, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. What you done over there?
Yeah. I'm just looking at the energy. You know me.
So this Knight of Cups in reverse to the connections is I'm thinking it's like the energy of a person who is in the right posture. Like, you know, I see a solid heart space. I see a good-hearted person, right? And with connections, I see that it's some sort of form of spiritual connection, spirituality in this energy. It's a Knight of Cups, so it could be kind of moving slow, and it could be like it could also be you, I don't know, sifting through proposals. Like, people could be proposing things to you, like giving you certain type of proposals or even ultimatums. Like, you do this, you get that. Like, I don't know. It feels like a good-hearted energy. And it feels like a tempting energy. Like, maybe somebody could be tempting you in a certain type of way. But nevertheless, with the World in reverse to the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and Spirit says, pay attention, right? You're being asked to pay extra close attention to the signs you are being given, both subtle ones and the ones that can't be missed. These signs will help you see how to best move forward in order to live your best life. Now, those are the blockages right there. Delays, shortcuts, delays, no closure, and incompletion. The World in reverse to the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know, somebody, you could be feeling like you down on your luck. This World in reverse seeking closure is also the kind of energy of something holding you from moving forward. Maybe completely into your North Node. Maybe it could be finances being withheld from you right now. I'm feeling that in the energy. It could be you not willing to move forward without having all the facts about something. The World, you know, in reverse. And with this pay attention, I definitely feel like before any level of initiation, you need to seek enlightenment. for somebody. Like, don't let people draw you into places, right? Don't let these people on TikTok, these people who
AI videos,
these spiritual leaders and all of that. Like, if somebody ain't vibing with you down on this level and they trying to speak from here down to you, you might want to just pay attention to it a little more. Because I see a lot of people doing that. Like, for me, it's non-relative. You know, people tell me all the time how I can't do this and you can't talk to your ancestors like that. How? I was born with that gift. You can't tell me what I can do. I don't pay you no mind. People be like, don't make your own altars. Don't make... First of all, you know, I'm a person that believes like this. You know, your spirituality is nobody's business but your own. Right? You don't gotta go be initiated in something because somebody doing something that's working for them. That shit might not work for you.
Right.
For real. You need to find your own soul's mission. Your own soul. And that's why somebody's world is in reverse, is because you're looking for shit to initiate with. You're looking for certain levels of power, right? And what's going to happen when you get them? You're going to become arrogant. You're going to be a person that run around and tell everybody what they can't do just because you walked a certain path. Listen, man, truth be told, some of these people got deities all over they got deities all over their altar and ain't in touch with that deity. Truthfully, a lot of people. I'm not saying everybody, but you got people out here, right? The deities that they so-called in line with, some of y'all is related to these deities by blood. So who you think got a greater measure? Who you think is a true daughter of you know, deities of a certain culture? If somebody's blood is connected to that culture and yours is not, you can bust all the rituals you want. That person right there got the power in their blood. You can't come against people like that. This for somebody's world is in reverse too. Pay attention, because they done exactly what I'm saying. They took and threw something spiritually at an energy that's connected to the deities that they working with. Not realizing that'll never work for you. That will never work for you. If somebody's blood is connected to a deities or culture, and you throw spells at them from that, it's not going to hurt them. It's going to wake them up. You're going to awaken them. You're not going to hurt them. You're going to awaken them. Because when you send them, the energy is going to alert them.
Well, part of that energy is already in them.
It's in them, exactly. It's one of their, you know, they are a child of that nation. It's time for people to realize that you better figure out who you throwing spells on.
Yeah. I remember somebody was trying to attack me with the Orishas. Can't do that.
Can't do that. It's counterproductive.
Ain't gonna work. You know?
It's counterproductive. A lot of us you can't attack because it's counterproductive. And it's not always bloodline. It's like if a person is sent here for a purpose, right? They have a soul's mission. And just because they hurt you or you see them as being nothing in the world, you decide, oh, I'm gonna go put a magic spell, I'm gonna go down the railroads, or I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna put well, those are the kind of people that get you in trouble. Because just because they look like they ain't much, you don't know who walking with who.
That's real.
Leave people alone.
Okay.
Wheel of Fortune in reverse, creativity, right? Bad luck, no control, resistant to change, negative phase. See, somebody done something. I feel like this is a situation somebody put themselves in. Yo, don't let people draw you into their confusion. Telling you, don't do that like that. Do that like this. Seek enlightenment. Like it says, gain knowledge, gain wisdom, but above all, gain understanding first.
Yes. That's your answer. You asked for an answer. That's your answer. The sun came out. Something's been illuminated. You already know the answer to your own question. That's why you're asking, but it says yes. We got the Lovers out here, okay? Gemini energy in the reverse. And we got happiness in the reverse. And we got the Six of Cups in the reverse. This makes me feel depressed, you know? I don't know if someone is like, you know, feeling down about some kind of choice that they made. Because, you know, the Lovers could be a choice. It doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. This could be a choice, you know. Someone could be having to choose between two loves. Someone could be needing to make a choice in life about what they want to do. But when I see the Six of Cups in the reverse, someone could be wanting to live in the past. But God is like, you got to live right now. Something like that. Someone could be sacrificing their happiness because they want to live in the past. Blessings come in the future. In the present, I'm sorry. We get blessed in the present, right? So I feel like someone could be trying to live in a past energy, which is not allowing someone to be truly happy here. Something like that, because we got the happiness in the reverse. I am aware that that being happy means that I am on the right path. So it's like, if you can't find happiness, you know, of course, when you can't find a happiness, it just makes your whole entire day disturbing. Because, you know, if you can't find happiness, it means you can't find your, you know, you can't find your purpose. You feel lost. You start feeling down, and like that energy is just very negative is what I'm seeing. Number 6 here, we got 66. Number 6 is very significant. You know, 6 is all about balance, equal give and take. You know, we got 3 plus 3, which would be 6, right? We also have number 36 is very significant. Number 43, I'm sorry, and 63. But something about happiness. You know, I don't know. Someone doesn't feel happy, and I don't know why. Like, I'm feeling very sad in my spirit. It's crazy. I was looking at somebody on TV the other day, and I could feel how, you know, they were doing something for the world. Not necessarily, well, probably for themselves as well. But, you know, they were doing something that I don't think they necessarily want to do. And I could see that their spirit was just down from the situation. And I was like, oh, you know, their spirit is down. This is a person that has a big energy, and I just couldn't feel it, right? Because I'm very connected to energy. And, you know, happiness. There's someone, and you could be allowing, you know, people to take away your happiness, you know, by not being what you want to be, by not doing what you want to do, right? Mm-hmm. Something like that is what I'm feeling here. Someone needs to hold on to this. With the 4 of Pentacles here, I feel like someone needs to really hold on to what they value, the things they believe in, the things that, you know, they know are true. Something like that. Mm-hmm. There could be a tricky energy around you, wanting you to, you know, wanting you to be like, oh, you know, nostalgic kind of energy. Oh, I remember when I had this car, because maybe you're not driving right now. But so what? You know, you're more than your car, right? You're more than a vehicle, right? God has been getting you around everywhere you need to go, so you're okay, right?
Maybe you don't need to go nowhere.
You know, maybe you don't need to go anywhere, right? He has made things available so you can get everything you need at home. Some people don't think like that. You know, God is saving a lot of us from different things for different reasons, right? Maybe someone has a problem with drinking and driving, so God took the car away to save your life, right? Whatever it is, I feel like there could be something that you're allowing to hold you from your happiness. And I'm hearing break free, you know, like an egg. You know when you crack an egg, like the yolk comes out, right? Someone needs to crack their shell and be let out of the shell here. Something like that, you know? It doesn't matter what you had in the past. Your blessings come in the present moment. So if you keep thinking about, dwelling about, oh, because I'm hearing someone like, you know, things were looking better for me then. Well, guess what? Things were less expensive then. Things are more expensive now. You didn't have children then. You didn't have this. Whatever it is, like, you know, just be happy where you are in the moment. If you can find a happiness in the place you are right now, it allows you to be able to obtain an even greater place. But you got to be happy where you are right now, because happiness is in the reverse.
Be Be content and you'll conquer.
There we go. Right? Something like that. It's like, hey, we gotta keep going. Hey, we gotta keep going. We only get stronger. We gotta keep trying. It's inner beauty. Hey, freestyling. It only gets stronger. We gotta do it. Inner beauty. We got inner beauty. I opened my eyes. I opened the eyes of my heart, and I can't read today. Okay, y'all know some days I'll be struggling. I open the eyes of my heart and direct my gaze to the light within every being. Personality and physical appearance are in the image of man. Beauty and goodness are in the image of God, because God's judgment is, he judges righteously. Right?
Righteous judgment.
Okay. Inner beauty, stop looking for everything on the outside. I feel like people have just been looking for confirmation for things for so long on the outside. And you already have the confirmation, the stamp that you're looking for. Because some of you guys are looking for stamps of approval, and it's something that's already inside of you. Right?
That's why everybody running to be initiated. I feel like a lot of people
running to
be initiated in different
things
and getting themselves initiated in things and
caught up.
I'll say an initiation, you gain and lose. That's any initiation. You're gonna gain ground, but you're gonna lose ground. So consider what you're initiating with. You're gonna gain, you're gonna lose. It's a give and take situation with initiation. So enlighten yourself. Over here, we got the 3 of Swords in reverse, 7 of Pentacles to the 10 of Cups. I'm going to tell you about negative self-talk, right? When you invest in that, 3 of Swords in reverse to the 7 of Pentacles is somebody that invests a lot in self-condemnation. Mm-hmm. You might be telling yourself you're sick a lot, and therefore you might be sick a lot because you're manifesting it. Mm-hmm. This could be, man, I ain't able to do that. Man, I don't think I can get this done. Well, if that's what you invest in, it's going to be a 10 of Cups in reverse. Yep. That's a shattered dream. Look, the footnote says shattered dreams, broken family, disconnection, broken family, disconnection from your ancestors. Domestic disharmony, misaligned values, struggling relationships. And this is only from a 3 of Swords in reverse. This is what somebody's speaking into existence. 3 of Swords in reverse to the 7 of Pentacles. That's investing in negative talk, self-condemnation. If God not condemning you, why would you allow a man to condemn you or a woman to condemn you if God's not condemning you? I don't care what you're doing. You can read tarot every day of the week, right? And why would you let somebody condemn you when they out drinking every day of the week, or they out lusting every day of the week? Mm-hmm. See how easy it is for people to condemn you when you self-condemn? Mm-hmm. If you condemn yourself, you setting a tone for people to treat you a certain way. Mm-hmm. People do what we allow them to do. Right. So if you allow somebody to speak ill of you or condemn you, they're gonna condemn you.
Why not?
If you condemn yourself, hello. If you it's down to this. If you uncertain about what you're doing, people gonna be uncertain about what you're doing. It's the tempo you set. You can't expect people to be certain about something you uncertain about, and that's even yourself. If you tell yourself I ain't ish, right?
You ain't gonna be.
That's what the world gonna tell you. You ain't ish. They're gonna agree with you. Mm-hmm. So let's not invest in negative self-talk.
Okay.
Release pain.
We gotta heal to release the pain. The death call, the reaper came. It's like,
if you release pain, right? A lot of this negative self-talk go out the window. Mm-hmm. If you begin to release the pain. Heal and release the pain.
Right. And you have, the part is you have to address the pain, the first step to healing is acknowledging the pain, right? Acknowledging that it's there to be able to address it, right? All right, this is what hurts me. Because, I remember one time I couldn't really even address that I was hurt. I'm good.
Yeah, that's denial. Denial was like salt on an open wound. Denial. Denial
Everything's
itself. It's like, you ever had a wound?
Whole time.
You pour salt on it, it's going. That's what denial does to your wound. You pour salt on it every time you. Ain't nothing wrong with me.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I heard Caitlyn. Kelsey.
I be glad, like, sometimes I be glad when I see people here, but sometimes when I say something really realer and people leave, I be glad.
Me
I be
too.
like, yo,
I do
know
too.
what I just said, Spirit gave
Get
me.
'em out of here.
And they leave, I be like, good. Because I'm trying to weed those people out. Like, if you don't want to do nothing but criticize people, bye. If you don't want to do nothing but try to look into people and still be a spiritual charlatan, bye. If you here to judge or critique, bye. We don't want you here anyway. We rather have the people here that's about building themselves,
Right.
that can really connect and understand, been through enough in life, that really see, yo, I can benefit from being here, or I got something to offer being here. If you ain't about that, it's best you break out. Cause you don't want the spirits that I deal with to be on your ass. Like, I'm the justice, baby.
Real bad too.
You heard me. Like, really. To
Real
the point
bad.
where it's sickening.
It is.
Like, I ain't gonna
you
lie,
don't
y'all.
even gotta do nothing.
I don't even be trying to do nothing. Justice just come out.
It just falls.
To the point where that's why I say, like, if I was me, I would leave me alone.
Me too.
Or people like me. Only reason why, because if I see a man or a woman and they literally out here not bothering nobody, and all they doing is trying to help the collective, why would I look at them? It's a problem with me if I do that. And a lot of people that do that, you got problems. You got psychological issues that you may need help with. If you look at other people and you just find yourself just like mad when they doing good, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had somebody do that to us one day. They was like, oh y'all got that. And we was like, damn, they look like they mad that we got that right there. Like, that's crazy. Like, and there be people who like that. Like,
no, for real.
This ain't the place for you if you like that. We like to encourage. We happy for people over here.
Right, you heard me.
You know what I'm saying?
That's for real too. I got the pride card over here. I love myself, and I see myself in everyone. So, really, this is like a mirror reflection, okay? I am a reflection of you. You are a reflection of me kind of energy. Why would I look at you and be disgusted with your flaws when I have the same ones that I hide behind closed doors, right? Kind of energy.
Word.
Now, I don't know if you could be going through something financially. We've all been there, right? And, shit happens. Because I got the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse here. So that lets me know that someone had, maybe you gained something at one point, right? And maybe now it's falling down, or it's falling down, or it's slowed down, or whatever it is.
Why you say that? Look, 9 of Cups in reverse to the 10 of Wands. That's wish fulfillment turned bad.
Okay.
You said somebody gained something and it fell in.
Yeah.
Somebody wish became, your blessing became a curse.
What did they say? Be careful what you ask for kind of energy? Because I don't know if someone's running around running their mouth about you, talking about this with the Page of Swords. Very petty energy, very gossipy, very can't keep their mouth kind of closed energy, something like that. This is a person that's very immature, always in the mix, always know everybody's business except for their own, okay? Something like that. This could be going around that, maybe, I don't know if somebody considers you fumbling a bag or whatever it is, because, sometimes they be like, you fumbled a bag. Maybe you could have left a person that had something. Maybe you could have took a risk and lost an investment. Whatever it is, I feel like, pride. Don't allow your pride to make you sink down because you lost a thing or something, hurt your reputation or whatever it is. It's like, I love myself, and you know what? We all make mistakes. I'm going to keep my head up high. I mean, I'm going to keep walking forward here. And guess what? The beautiful thing about this is whenever the Nine of Pentacles is in the reverse, it means you can turn it around, right? So that means that, you know, if you were able to build yourself up to stability once, you can do it again. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes we have to fall down, you know, when our pride is in the way so that we can be humble, right? Mm-hmm. So something like that. Mm. I love myself and I see myself in everyone.
Much like she was saying, the Nine of Cups is in reverse to the Ten of Wands, Ace of Swords. So somebody, you definitely have a lack of inner joy. And maybe it's becoming a burden. And you could be clear about it. You know how you have things in your life and you willing to tolerate them. Mm-hmm. Like, or let's just say, it's funny, but let's just say, on another note, God gave you a car, right? Or God gave you a house. And when you got it, you were so excited. When you got the house, it was so nice. Mm-hmm. Now you could be looking at the house like, man, I'm ready to get out of here. It's a burden. Or it could be a car, like, it could be like, man, this car was so nice when I got it. Now it ain't nothing but problem. I got to put money into it. So I see that somebody's Nine of Cups has became their Ten of Wands. Mm-hmm. And this could be a person. Like, they could have been motivated when you met them. And now they could be unmotivated. Mm-hmm. You could have been motivated. You could be unmotivated. Somebody what you had as a blessing, something along the lines has now effectively made this blessing appear to be a curse, right? That's Ace of Swords. So somebody, you got clarity about it. I'm talking right to somebody. It's like, he ain't lying. Like, this house is a bird now. Like, hard to clean up. Kids don't listen, right? But I want you to know, if God gave you a blessing at any point, right, it still stands as a blessing. That's right. It's your energy that's redirecting it. God's blessing doesn't turn into a curse unless we allow it to do that. I love you. You turn that, God give you a blessing. What? I love you, 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 I love you. A personal blessing for me. Right? Somebody got a personal blessing. And don't let it become a curse. Remember that it was a blessing when you got it. And redirect your energy towards it. I mean, dust it off. You know, clean it up.
Take it out.
Reappreciate it, right? Refurbish it. If it's a car, go clean it out.
Spin around.
If it's a house, it might be a burden to you, I understand. Real big energy.
Rearrange it.
Somebody's house is a burden. Well, first, you know, you want to cleanse it spiritually. Yeah. If you're able, cleanse it out spiritually and start from there. Work your way from because if God gave you a blessing, it's still a blessing. Mm-hmm. It's not, God's blessing don't change unless we change it.
We can't find the happiness in the blessing no more.
Right. Like God put a blessing on you. Boom. The only thing changed about that blessing is your positioning with it.
Or you're with the way
if you reposition yourself, the blessing can be a curse because you repositioned yourself. Mm-hmm. Even with the car, right? You got the car, you took care of it. Now, you don't clean it, you don't maintenance it, you don't wash it. Why? You reposition how you feel in regards to the blessing.
That's right.
Same way with the home. The home was a blessing. Then you start slacking. Let a little dust build up here, a little dust build up there, little hand streak on the wall, you know, little knob fall off here, little thing fall off there. You reposition the way you react to the blessing then becomes something different. Mm-hmm. So go back, y'all. Right.
I'm going back to Kelly.
One thing about it, you can always start over.
Okay.
Somebody, you need to know that your prayers are important. Sometimes that is the reset button, a prayer.
No, for real.
You know how much spiritual cleansing a sincere prayer does?
Everything's okay.
There's some people walking around right now, you ain't said a good prayer in quite some time.
Every day we gotta
I ain't talking about them on the go meditation. I'm talking about a real prayer.
I did one the other day.
She'll tell you, I go in. I might not do the same. I might not do my heavy warfare prayers every day. I pray every day, but some days I got to really pray. Some days I got to really ashe with the ancestors, right? It depends on what it is. But it's on you to know what time it is.
All right, King of Swords.
King of
Okay.
Swords.
We got the King of Swords to peace and positive thinking. Okay? I love this here. You know, this is someone that is, you know, very kind, very loving. This is a man that, you know, he's able to connect to his emotions and still make logical decisions. You know, the King of Cups is someone that you can trust, you
King of
know.
Swords.
Sorry, King of Swords.
Yeah, that's me out there. Get it right. Get it right.
I'm
That's
sorry.
King of Swords out there.
King of Swords is someone, you know, he is gonna make head over heart decisions. You know, he still has a heart, but he's gonna do what's best for the tribe, for the long term goal, right? And we got peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy to the positive thinking. My life is full of small patches of light. I direct my thoughts to that which bring me well-being. I place what is waiting for me into the hands of God. Little by little, the light awakens in my being, and I find serenity. Something about the serenity prayer could be very significant. You could be learning to accept the things that you cannot change. Something like that. Okay? That was hard for me. You know, one of my biggest things was control. And I never thought I was a controlling person. But, you know, it was little subtle things that, you know, I wanted to control. Even about myself, you know, when God was trying to move me in certain ways. And I'll be like, no. And wonder why I couldn't get where I was trying to go. Or why I felt like it was a brake put on me. You know, you ever had a boot on your car?
What?
And you try to go?
A boot on your life.
Okay. Imagine having the boot on your life and you can't go because, you know, you ain't paid the ticket. You ain't learned the lesson. You ain't complete the mission.
You ain't go see them authorities.
Okay? Right? So we
Yeah.
got peace and gratitude. Right? I am thankful for this life and the opportunity that it presents. You know, I feel like someone's feeding their mind positivity because we are what we think, like we are, you know, we are what we eat. Same thing. We are what we think. Same energy, right? So positive thinking and gratitude. Imagine giving more gratitude each and every day, right? Imagine being in the present moment because some of us, I remember I used to find myself not even in the present moment. You ever been in the moment with people and you ain't there, you know? You in the building, but you ain't really there. Some of us, our minds race so much that we don't even live in the present moment. All we can think about is what happened, what's gonna happen. We never get to enjoy what's happening right now, what's going on right in front of us. We're too busy thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow and why we didn't get yesterday right. Never even focusing on today and making sure today is everything that we wanted to be.
And class straight face, but in your brain laughing.
Okay.
You know how that is. Like, that's straight. You in
Okay.
class just like this.
Right.
It's like you paying attention.
But you ain't hearing nothing that the teacher's saying.
Nothing.
Right?
Don't.
You ever had a conversation when you sit with somebody and they say all this stuff and you like, that's crazy. Cause
yeah.
that's my, I be like, if you ever hear me say that, I did not hear you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I stopped saying that's crazy.
Yeah, because
people start picking up more like, did you really hear what I said?
right? You know, you gotta really live in the moment. We have to all just be able to live in the moment, showing gratitude, being thankful, being at peace. You know, living in the past and so worried about the future, it causes chaos and anxiety in the brain. The mind is meant to rest and be at peace right here in the moment, knowing that, look, whatever happened yesterday is done, and whatever's going to happen tomorrow, God is in control.
Death card to the Two of Swords to the Seven of Swords. I love it. You know? Somebody decided to put an end to all that shit. Right?
Finish him.
Yeah, it might have been a hard decision, but somebody was stealing from you, right? Betrayal, deception, theft, dishonesty, getting away with it, right? That's the footnote. Acting strategically, trickery, and fraud. You ended that. You canceled that demonstration. It wasn't easy though, because the Two of Swords, I'm saying somebody, honestly, I'm saying somebody steal something from somebody, literally, like money. Like, and I'm saying you sitting back like, I wonder is this person stealing from me? Right? And your mind telling you, they ain't doing that. Maybe I misplaced it. Maybe I read my bank account wrong.
Okay.
Cause it's like
a little $5
yeah,
here.
you like a little $20 gone,
5,
but maybe
10, 15, 20.
little cash app, little missing, little money, little gone. You little things gone, but you got tired of it, right? You was like, all right, I see what's going on. It was a difficult decision, but kudos to you. Death card to the Seven of Swords. I love it, right? I mean, that was me when I was done.
You heard me.
Now you can't get no more from me. I pour no more. That's what my aunt used to say. Pour no more.
The cup already empty.
Pour no more, right? So it's like, that's you. You looked at it. And the thing about this, ain't it funny how people that were stealing from you, right? Once you cut them off, they come right back to you for help like they never stole from you. It's like, no. Didn't you already steal everything that you needed?
Well,
when you were stealing, you got everything that you needed for free. So why would I be an option for you to come back to when you stole everything that you stole? Like the card says, deception, theft, dishonesty. Like this is, you ran around behind my back, you stole my money, you stole my energy, you did all the stealing, and then when you move on, you wrong for saying no. You better learn how to say no to a person that's Seven of Swords you and you got past it. It's not a Two of Swords for me. It might be hard for you, but for me, once I move on, you're done. We can't be in the energy of Seven of Swords when we out here trying to make better of ourselves. That means you taking from me everything I gain. Or a little bit. And you know what they say? Keep letting them small things slide, it'd be a failure.
Because I was going to say, it almost reminds me of like, back, we was watching some of the stories of our ancestors, and it's crazy. They would like literally, when I look at the Seven of Swords to the Death card, it makes me think about how when they would, they would be colonized and they were slaves, right? And what they would do is they would go and they would take poisons and different things, and they would watch these people die slowly,
yeah,
right?
They got back at
Yeah, so it's like that kind of energy. This could be like a slow death, No, this doesn't have to be physical. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but what I'm saying is, something is falling off slowly, but it's for sure here, okay? And I feel like it's because someone's decision with the Two of Swords, when someone made a decision to do something, and now it is what it is, right? Something like that. This could even be the energy of, how when, the devil is so patient. Evil is so patient. Evil likes to do things a little bit at a time, a little piece at a time. So you don't really notice like little pieces of you missing until the hole is so big that, like on the Cosby Show, remember he had the cake.
And
Claire made the cake, right? And Dr. Huxtable wasn't supposed to be eating the cake because I think he was like diabetic, and she made this, he loved sweets, right? So he took the paper towel, and him and Rudy, and they had this idea, to take the cake and eat it and put the paper towel in and fill it. It's like that kind of energy, right? That's what I'm saying, But eventually everything is revealed, and, people forget that, everything that we do is revealed. Like, it comes back. You ever do something right, and then you hear a little whiff of it, and you're like, damn, that was a secret. Like, who wasn't nobody real but me and God? Something like that. We got the Nine of Wands here to the growth, okay? So that's You know, that's my spiritual war. That's somebody getting stronger spiritually. This is a person that's learning that either we're going to put on the boxing gloves, because that's the only reason we should be fighting in the physical, right? If we getting paid for it, like Bud Crawford, Tank Davis, okay, right? But or either what's gonna happen here is, I myself am a warrior and I'm growing spiritually. Someone's learning how to fight spiritual battles, right? They're
right.
praying more. You know, someone's like, I ain't got, when people are coming at you now, maybe you're not just getting all upset and out of character and crazy and cussing people back out, right? Maybe you're going to your prayer room. I'm seeing someone in a prayer room on their knees and they're crying out, and God is blessing their life. Why? Because they don't turn to the spell book. You know, they know they're not a witch. They ain't never been a witch. They don't want to claim to be a witch because that's not who they are. But what they are is a prayer warrior.
Yo,
right?
somebody, 9 of Wands to the growth.
Right?
You definitely
That's like an ascended master.
a wound. You've been through it.
It's like, when you leave here, your name is like, it means something. Okay? You wasn't here for play. You wasn't here for a look. This is a person that's here for a serious mission, and I love it. And I know
it's like you one of them kind of people. The way you live in your life, when you transition away from the world, 20, 30, 40 years down the line, they're going to be like, oh, so-and-so changed the way this family. We used to do things this way, but then Aunt so-and-so or Uncle so-and-so or Grandpop so-and-so, or you going to be that.
You're an ascended master because, a lot of us are creating our own traditions. Let's be honest, right? And a lot of our households, right, especially my melanin people, right, a lot of us, I noticed that once the elder is gone, a lot of the traditions slip away.
Right.
Well, we are here being called to step up and bring back a lot of traditions and restore the positivity and going back to the basics is what I'm hearing. Some of us need to go back to the basics, You know how when you were winning, when you were just doing it naturally, how it came to you with nothing extra, nothing added? Back to the basics here. We got me showing up.
It's crazy because it's like when we say that, I think people look for the strongest authority. Somebody could be restoring prayer back to your family.
Mm-hmm.
Like on a mighty level, you could be restoring something that was spiritually taken away, and it could have to do with prayer,
and it's so
meditation, or like just the way you allowing yourself to perceive life. You might even feel like the black sheep now, right? But one thing about black sheep energy, you ever notice how all the kids love the black sheep? Mm-hmm. Think about when the black sheep show up to the cookout, everybody want to see Auntie Black Sheep or Uncle Black Sheep. Mm-hmm. All the kids love it because they understand it's possibility and hope with the black sheep, with the person the black sheep is the generational curse breaker energy. Mm-hmm. Period, point blank. You have to accept that. Because if you going with the flow of things, you ain't breaking too many generational curses. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you breaking generational curses, chances are you black sheep energy.
Oh yeah. This is your destiny and your purpose. And I know it because it says me. I allow serenity to reign in me. The love I have for myself invites harmony to settle within my being. I listen to the honor and strive to fulfill the needs of my soul. I strive to fulfill the needs of my soul. Yeah, someone is like defending anything that comes against them spiritually. Like with the 9 of Wands here, this is resilience. This is the energy where we're talking about when, the war of Adwa, right? It's that kind of spiritual warrior kind of energy where I'm not backing down because I know that, I'm covered and I'm protected here. Something like that. I got growth. I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. Okay? So, I like this because even with the 9 of Wands here, someone's learning to pick and choose your battles. Every battle is not worth fighting, It's not. Like, for what? See, some people, they have nothing to lose, And so when it comes to you, they are willing to risk not for you to risk it all, because a lot of you guys have been doing the work. You have goals, you have things you want to do in life, so you have been setting yourself up to get where you need to go. And you have some people out here that they have nothing to lose, so they come and they mock you and they pick on you and they ridicule you, and they try to get you to come out of your character because you have everything to lose, right? So growth is here. Knowing when to pick and choose your battles. It's like, we ain't even gotta fight no more. Hey, damn long you been working on our battles. Hey, and we ain't even gotta fight no more. Hey, damn long you been fighting all our battles. Hey, we ain't even gotta speak no more. Hey, damn long you be working while we silent, right? The silent killer, right? Praying about things, God moves things around for us who pray. I try to tell you, our prayers do get answered around here now. They don't go forsaken. They are not amiss, right? So just know, keep praying. We got humor showing up for you. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. I do. I want to be happy. I want to laugh. Laughter is the key to the soul. It allows me to feel free, young, vibrant.
In the matter of humor, it's really, if you're looking for a fervent understanding of deities, you have to adapt humor. Because a lot of the deities that people call on, they have a humorous nature.
Tricky, humorous.
Like, you have to be able to you have to be able to relate to humor to have a balance. You want to be a well-balanced meal.
Okay.
Within. You want to be well-balanced, right?
Real.
Well, you need humor in order for you to be well-balanced. Like, you need a certain amount of humor just to be a balanced meal. Because, like, a lack of humor, it can cause you to be easily offended by people who don't mean you no harm. When you don't have a healthy, relationship with humor, what happens when somebody say something about you and it's literally funny, and you literally become offended just because your humor, you don't have that factored into your equation. Like, you need healthy humor. Like, I try to approach things with humor being close to me. Because people say a lot of things, and sometimes you just gotta be able to turn it into, like, For instance, somebody said something to me yesterday, right? And I was like, somebody said something to me yesterday, and I was like, you got it. I let it be humorous.
But doesn't it feel good to do that? Like, instead of at the age we are now, like, I don't feel like having a headache, being upset about some stuff that ain't really even like, I'm out here trying to help humanity.
And then if you ever really come into somebody and you got your humor intact, we do it all the time. Even when you come into a contact with a weirdo, you can literally be like, and when they gone, you can be like, wow. You know what I'm saying? That's great. That was crazy. Like, you can find humor in it, right? Humor is good. It's good. It's a great balance.
Absolutely.
I take humor over anger.
Okay.
You heard me. I'm hungry.
Me, I'm so hungry.
We about to tap off of this energy.
Let's go eat. Feed me. Feed me, baby.
Yes.
Thank you. Feed me.
All right, y'all.
We love you guys.
We love you guys.
We'll probably be back late tonight. We got a football game. Hey.
That's right.
You're going to be okay, Keish. We are, we're already labeled as aggressive anyway. So, I would just say that if you are, I think what you did is great, pulling back and just, maybe evaluating the situation. And, pulling back your energy a lot of times does help you, because people don't realize how valuable you are until you pull your energy back anyway. And you're probably doing more shit than you should be doing anyway, so.
I ain't gonna lie. When you pulling back your energy, right, make sure when we pull back our energy that we get a good look at ourselves. Because that's really what it's for. When we pull back from stuff, you always want to look at you.
You
like
do.
even when there's a problem,
You
right?
do.
I've learned to look at myself first in the equation, and then I can pretty much find out, because if I'm the problem, I need to be able to sit back and be like, okay,
You know, that's
it's me.
real.
It ain't them. It's me.
Sometimes those truths too, like when, because I've heard that too. People think I'm aggressive, right? So I look at myself and I'm like, okay, because I don't want to come off like that. I don't, and I know I can be. I'm very aggressive, honestly, right? So for me, that's something that I don't want to be. So I work on it, and I tone my, I do the same thing. Pull your energy back, reevaluate.
But doesn't it make it? The fact that you're willing to do that, it makes it so much easier when you are aggressive or whatever it is, and somebody say you being aggressive, you can literally like, okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because you already took the time to notice that for yourself.
I know. Yeah.
So you're not
Right.
like, in other words, when we in
Acknowledging
denial about things, that's when it's hard for people to tell us, because but when we can accept it about ourselves, like, okay. When somebody said, you like, well, maybe.
I used to be so offended by everything, but now it's like, I literally try to find, all right, well, even if it's somebody that says something to me, somebody that I don't, necessarily mess with or whatever, I take, even like, I'm gonna give you, there was a comment that was said the other day to me, right? And when I looked at the comment, I didn't respond to it, but the person was actually correct. What I did was a bad representation of who I am, but I'm human and I make mistakes, so I just kept going, because it was at that moment I could have just been like, oh, I'm a failure, oh, I don't like myself, but I knew that I'm human and I just make mistakes, and I just kept rolling with it. But when I got off, I thought about, and I was like, when something's real, it's going to resonate with me. I mean, it's the truth, I'm not going to reject it. I'm not going to be like, no, that's a lie. And it was something that was real. So I looked at myself and I was like, well, you could do better, because, you represent what you represent. And so, yeah. We're going to go eat.
Y'all want to donate to our lunch?
Yeah, look.
Send us some donations on
our Cash App is on the page. If you would like to help us get some lunch, we would like to go and get some, we would like to go and get, some fish. And some onion rings.
Maybe Foster's Grill.
No, Mayflower.
Oh, Mayflower, yeah.
Some popcorn shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big fat plate, y'all, for like $10.
Yeah, y'all buy seafood lunch.
Okay.
Little $10 play.
Yeah, it's just a little lunch special, y'all. But we hungry, so we're gonna go eat before the game. We love you guys so much, okay? Hey. And that was the message. Hey, accept or reject it. Hey, but keep your spirit protected. Hey, daily message. We love you guys. Hey, and don't forget, we elemental beings. Love you guys so much. Very cool.